Let us understand this through an example. A sculptor first creates a mold and then he uses that mold to create similar statues. However, the sculpture may provide different colors to each statue. Similarly, in OOP, once a class is defined, we can create any number of objects from the same class. As one cannot create statues without having a mold, similarly, one cannot create objects without defining a class. It proves that a class is an object factory because once we define the functionality in form of functions of a class, then it can be used by all the objects pertaining to that class. Let me tell you how to define a class and creating objects. Suppose we create a class teacher whose characteristics, states, attributes, variables are name and subject and whose behavior is defined by functions like teaching, taking tests and preparing results. We can easily create individual teacher objects from this class definition. This further underlines the fact that a class is an object factory that can generate many objects. Likewise, we can think of more examples which represent the concepts of classes and objects in our day-to-day life. Let us know more. A class is a conceptual description while an object is the actual instance of a class. Alright students, let us learn about class as a user-defined data type. The most important thing to understand about a class in programming terms is that it defines a new data type. The question arises here is, how can we consider class as a user-defined data type? To understand this, we need to understand what a data type is. In the previous classes, you have been exposed to programming languages and the processes used to write programs. Hence, you must be familiar with the concept of variables. Quick recapitulation. A variable is like a container that can hold data temporarily. Every variable has a name, a size and a specific data type. We have built-in data types like integer, character, float, etc. If we declare a variable of a type integer, it cannot hold character or float values because it is of integer type, so it can only hold integer values. It has a specific behavior like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. that cannot be changed. We have the freedom of creating any number of variables from a single data type. In addition to built-in or predefined data types, most programming languages allow the user to create their own data types called user-defined data types. Once the data types are created, you can create any number of variables of the newly created data type. In object-oriented programming, classes are defined by the users, which contain both data and methods and use them as integrated components. When we create a class, the attributes are represented through data items that can hold values, integer, float, etc. The behavior of the class is represented through methods or functions. Let us take an example. Let us create a class called testadd and specify two integer type variables, data and a function to perform simple addition. Once defined, this class can be used to create objects of the same type with the ability to perform addition on any two integer variables. We can also create more than one object of the same class, store similar data in them, and perform the same set of operations that we have specified in the class. We can therefore conclude that a class is defined by the user, where a user can specify its characteristics or data state and behavior. Once a class is formed, we can create variables of the type of class. These variables are nothing but objects.